Alright, welcome to the trade, episode 18, the long game. Yay! With me today, I've got Carrie Potter of the duo from junipercomic.com.
Hello.
And also with us today is Robert Trudhart. I think I got that right. I'm horrible with names.
Yeah. Trudhart.
Trudhart. I can't say it. Damn it. T-R-I-T-T.
Yep.
Trudhart.
Trudhart.
I'm gonna fuck it up forever and do just it's Robert. There's Robert. He's right there. He's from writhandshine.com and chanceofdoom.com. Yeah. He has comics. He does the things. Yeah.
I'll do the things.
And I am also. I don't know. Who am I? It's a mirror. What? My name's Melony. I am currently developing my comics. I should be launching them because I keep putting it off. Right now, you can check out my work in progress on steamandnonsense.tumblr.com. And hopefully, I'll have ornamentalcomic.com and steamandnonsense.com up here in another week or two.
Do it.
I keep putting it off.
It's hard.
It is. It actually is kind of hard to do the launch. I even have some pages done. I just don't have enough made yet to be satisfied to launch, if that makes any sense.
10.
Anyways, yes, my goal is
chop it off
10.
with the legs.
Yeah.
Yep, 10 of each.
What do you mean of each?
Anyway. Hey, I'm doing 2.
Oh, you're doing okay.
I'm fucking crazy. I told you that.
Well, I do 2 as well, so I'm fucking crazy too. No, are you updating like once a week for each one, or what? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just update once a week for each one just to start, see where I can get my legs with it, get my little sea legs going on, my little comics legs.
Your web legs.
And,
yes.
And just see how I can surf the nets that way.
I wrote my first issue of my second comic, but I don't know. It's a solo venture, but I don't know when or if I'll ever be able to sit down and draw it. Like I do want to draw it all myself, but I don't have any time right now. But I did write the first issue, and I'm very excited about that.
Very
so that's
cool.
just sitting on that for a while. So who knows? I did that like that was like a month ago that I finished that, and I'm just been like, well, done. Neat. I'll never have time to draw this, but
sit on it and edit it when you want, you know,
yeah,
make it better.
Write issue 2, and then just have it all just tight as hell by the time I get around to the drawing part, which maybe is a good yet different way of creating something. But anyhow, tell our fine listeners, Melony, what we are going to be talking about today.
Well, today we're going to talk about this video essay. It's a 2-parter. It's over on Vimeo right now, and we'll put the links down in the description section so everybody can go and take a look at it. It's about 8-9 minutes long total with both sections. And it talks about everybody's long game. Current culture pushes us almost prematurely often enough to have already accomplished, something in your life by the time you've hit, through your teens and 20s. And a lot of people just don't have enough developed yet. And it doesn't matter what field you're talking about. It can be art, it can be writing, it can be comics, it can be acting, it can be science, mathematics. It can be any of these things, honestly. It could be anything, honestly, that needs time to develop. Sometimes you just need time to learn, to grow, to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. The main focus of the little video essay was Leonardo da Vinci and how he started off very young. He's pretty decent at drawing, and so he was able to score an apprenticeship with this big, well-known painter, fresco painter, and he learned under him for quite a few years, and he finally landed his first gig in his 20s to do a large fresco, and he got extremely ambitious with it. He did not know how to pace himself. He did not know how to, figure out a scope of work in the time frame they wanted him to make this fresco, and he fucked it up. He basically botched the job. And that's why part of this video essay talks about him being such a loser when he started out. He kept fucking up. He kept making mistakes.
Is that the title of the video?
It's called The Missing Chapter by Adam Westbrook over on Vimeo. You can find it under Delve.tv's channel. They're the ones that help publish it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also titled The Long Game because it talks about, he messed up. He messed up really bad, and where he was living, nobody would give him work after that. The only work he could find was drawing the dead. The thieves they hung. If you took and you drew the portrait of any of the dead criminals they hung, they would give you a little bit of cash for each drawing. And so that was the only way he could make a living for quite a while. And that was in his late 20s to his early 30s. He finally moved to Florence.
I was going to say,
go ahead.
He supported the death penalty, huh?
Basically. But, back over in his 30s there, he finally moved to Florence, Italy, and he was able to actually score a job working for the court of Milan, and he became the court painter. And so he finally figured, all right, I finally kind of hit that point, I've got work again, here we go. And the Duke of Milan, his first job from the Duke of Milan was to paint a portrait of this lovely young woman, actually happened to be the Duke's mistress, and her pet weasel. It's a little ermite.
Fowits.
Yeah, basically. If you ever look up any of Leonardo da Vinci's paintings and whatnot, that was one of his earlier ones.
I think
and if you look really close,
because I thought it was weird that there was weasel in it.
Yeah, if you look really close, he painted the girl, he painted the little weasel, it came out all good. Problem was, he put a 10 times more amount of detail and focus into the damn weasel than he did into the girl, and it kind of pissed her off, and it pissed the Duke off, too.
Yay!
So, that was one of his, again, early jobs, and they considered that a mistake. They considered that something of a botched job because he didn't complete it necessarily,
Or didn't do it to
put as much work.
Client's liking.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
missions are tough.
yes, definitely, So his next commission, a while later, we know Leonardo da Vinci as being a multimedia artist. He not only painted, he sculpted, he did frescoes, he
built things
did a number
too, right?
Oh yeah, he was an inventor. He was a big, well-known inventor. And his next job was again from the Duke, and it was to create this giant statue of a bronze horse, a man mounted on a bronze horse. And a lot of different cultures view horses as a sign of not only fertility, but of richness, kind of one of those ideas. You had to have something in order to have a good steed, you got to have the money and
so opulence
things
and
like that to be a
fertility.
Yeah, it was opulent. It was a sign of wealth, that sort of thing. Anyway, so he had commissioned Leonardo to make this beautiful statue of a bronze horse. And if you look at any of his studies he did, he went all out on this thing. He even invented a new way to cast bronze to make this statue come to life.
Was it because
before their... Huh?
Was it because it was so big? He had to invent a new way or how?
I don't know. They never specified why he invented a new way to do it. He just all it's known is that he did.
Maybe
Okay.
it just made
At
more
least
sense
for
to them.
me, the might have.
Lines are
Anyways,
flashing around.
he I mean, he made whenever. I don't know. Have you guys ever done any form of sculpture or anything?
I did in high school, and we did do like a mold. We made like a mold where you could make copies of the same thing, and it
Mhm.
took sculpting an original thing, and then kind of like suspending that thing in a box, and then also like covering it in dish soap, and then pouring in this casting material into the box so that it goes all the way around your thing. Mine was like a head, like a guy's head, and so then you once that is all dry, you can crack it. You can remove the box out the outside and crack it open. And because the dish soap was on the outside of the original thing, it kind of peels away without sticking or getting gross. And so you just clean it out, and then now you have a cast, and you can pour liquid clay. We did it out of clay. I don't know about metal. But you could pour liquid clay into the top and kind of like swish it around in there and let it dry. And now you can make as many copies of the same hollow piece of clay as you
Hmm.
want. And we made a sculpture out of that.
Yeah.
That was in high school. So I'm sure that was like the most primitive version of doing that. I have no idea how they do it out of metal. But anyways,
Well,
continue.
well, you get the idea. Usually, you have to do something of a sculpture in order to make a mold and then do your actual casting.
Right.
Pretty much the same idea with metal. Slightly different process, but same idea. He had made a giant plaster cast, sculpture basically, and that's what they were going to make their casting out of this horse. So this was right before they were going to actually lay down the bronze to make the statue. Yeah, this is just right before they're going to do it, and the Duke cancels it.
Ah!
Motherfucker. So he put months and months of work into studies and into making all this sculpture work and just even invented that new thing, and I mean just talk about frustrating, right? So this
Things
is
are not
kind
working
of
out
this,
for Leonardo.
yeah, definitely, just constantly. Well, but basically this goes on throughout the next, about 15, 16 years. He is just making portraits, doing sculptures, things like this, inventing. He did quite a few inventions, and if you ever look up any of his work, which I would highly recommend to anybody and everybody, might as well, the masters are there for a reason, They are called a master. Might as well learn from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he created his first masterpiece when he was 46. The Last Supper.
It's a long time, like, to work on something incessantly, and yeah,
So he finally
I didn't watch the videos because I'm
that
is a long time.
But he finally got hired at the age of 30, so he got something of a better break.
Mhm.
But he got to basically practice and try and error, and even if he made mistakes for his different clients throughout the court and whatnot, he was going on and on and on, and he finally got charged with doing the Last Supper, doing that giant fresco, and that was his first masterpiece.
That's
And
good to know.
he was, he was about 46 whenever he got that one done. So, this is one of those things that you need to remember. You're in trial and error here. I had to sit down and remind myself of this repeatedly, because I'm a big Debbie Downer, especially on myself. You are your worst critic. I mean, you're your absolute worst critic.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the reason why so many times I've stopped making comics, at least for a short while. It's just, I would, convince myself I'm no good, I'm not doing this right, or some other load of horse shit, because it is. It's just horse shit.
So hard to find the motivation to carry on when you're not getting a whole lot of return on investment. So, for example, you're investing hours and hours during the week, every week, for years on end, doing what you love to do, and it can sour a little bit when you stop to think like, wow, all of this work and what have I got for it? And sometimes it's not good enough for you when you first think about it to say, oh, well, I've gotten a lot of practice out of this, or I've learned what not to do next time, or like those things are really valuable, but sometimes it's really difficult not to go like, I'm not famous yet, or like I don't have X amount of page views, or like I'm not at the point where I can make a book yet, like, and it's been 2 years or whatever, like, and that can be really discouraging, and it's difficult to keep finding reasons to keep at it when you haven't hit your stride yet, even after however many years you've been working on it, like even after that long, like it seems discouraging, and I think that everybody, I would wager that everybody falls into that hole at some point. So,
Oh, definitely. Definitely. But that's why I wanted to bring it up, this podcast, was to remind people we're working on our long game here. Anybody who works on anything creative at all, being comics or otherwise, I specifically relate it to comics because that's what I love doing. But I get really discouraged because, just little things can get you down, and then you don't see enough results out of it to,
Yep.
And it's only seeing a tree in your forest. You're still planting the damn trees. They haven't even grown yet.
Yeah, and that's,
It,
I'm one of the out of our group that we talk to about comics and stuff. I tend to be one of the younger ones, and I have to remind myself, like, you're not even 30 yet. Like, you don't even like what you're doing is good. Like, it's good that you're doing something, but like, you're still super young, and I know that there are folks out there who are starting even younger than me, and it's like, it's okay if you're not Penny Arcade right now, and just calm down, But
And
it's
then
so
there's
hard.
people out there that are starting when they're 35 or 40.
Yeah.
They finally realize that, I've loved comics for this long, and
Mhm.
I haven't done anything about it, but I'm just going to start now. And then, they start and they realize that, there's a lot of people that are younger than them that are a lot better than them, but
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do about that. Just keep
Yeah.
keep going
It
forward.
makes it makes me want to tear my hair out when I see that like some 8-year-old kid is like an amazing, amazing at anything. I don't care what it is, or if I can relate to it at all. If they're amazing at it and they've graduated college at 12, I'm just instantly irate.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, why not me? Like, so I don't know. Like that, I think age sometimes enters into it in a couple different ways. Like maybe the whole thing isn't age. Maybe it's just time in general. You know what I mean? Like feeling like, oh, I've wasted so much time, or I have to start now and I have to hurry because otherwise, I don't know, like, is life's train going to leave you behind? I have no idea. But I think no matter what age you are, maybe it's just this weird sense of, like, panic eventually, like, kind of urgency, like, I
Yeah.
haven't done anything yet, or I haven't done enough, or I'm not where I wanted to be. And sometimes I think that those goals, like I'm not where I wanted to be. What does that mean? Like, does that mean like readers? Does it mean page views? Does it mean like how many times you're updating a week? You know what I mean? Like, or is it just some like is not enough? Like in quotes. Like, is that sort of an arbitrary definitionless thing that you've made for yourself? You know what I mean? I don't know if that
yeah,
makes sense, but
you're defeating yourself before you've even started.
right. And like I've struggled with good enough, and that's one thing I'm really trying to like work on in my personal life is really trying to get a handle on giving yourself an actual like metric for good enough. You know what I mean? Like if it's arbitrary and has no ceiling, then it's never gonna be good enough, or like you'll never be okay with it. You know what I mean? So uh, I think that time and the idea of being good enough to be at peace with yourself kind of enters into this conversation a little bit too.
Oh yeah,
You
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
right now my good enough is is being able to upload the comic on time, twice a week.
Yeah,
And
no, that's great though.
that's that's where I'm at right now. I wish I could do more, but I know that I don't know that I can't. It's just that that's my pace right now. You
Hmm.
know, I would love to be able to do 3 times a week, 5 times a week, but that would be completely pushing it, and it would push everything else out of my life. You know.
Yeah, I've had to sort of stop and realize that the whole pushing everything else out of your life is what it would take for me to do any more than I'm doing right now. And one thing that my husband Don is working towards is trying to get to a financial place where he can where we can have me work part time, and if that's able to happen someday, uh, at that point I'll be able to do more probably. Or if I the things that I would have to give up in order to do more, the they're kind of a little bit too valuable right now for me to want to give them up. Like it would be things like relaxation or sleep or seeing my friends ever or spending any time at all with my husband or giving up on like fitness and losing weight and things like that. So all of those things are really important to me right now, and it was really hard for me to like look at those things and go, well, what, like I had to sit down and go, well, what can I cut out? I'm frustrated because I can't do more. I'm not doing enough with comics. Where can I cut out in my life? And I'm like, well, nowhere. That's the answer. Like, it's all important, and there's just sometimes not enough time in the day. There's only 24
Like,
hours. So.
already cut the unnecessary stuff out.
Yeah, it's
And
like it's all gone. Like I don't really people will give me shit because I don't keep up on TV. Like I am
What?
really behind on Game of Thrones. I have not caught up on Orange Is the New Black, and it's going to take me several weeks to watch 2 episodes of any of those things. You know, I started playing video games a little bit more recently because it makes me happy, and I sometimes need things that make me happy. But I hardly have any
Oh
time for that
yeah.
either. So it's like all the things that I could possibly have cut out, they're out now. Like, and this is what's
yeah.
left over, and I have to find a way to be at peace with that. It has to be good enough because that's all I got.
Hmm.
So and plus, like I said, it's a bit early in the game. I've still got years and years to go before it. There, I think that. Sorry, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but I feel like sometimes like I could be doing more, or like I do get that sense of like, oh crap, I gotta just do everything that I can and just push right now. But it's like, I've got
Well,
time. I can calm down about this a little bit. I'm still posting every single week without fail. The quality is as good as I can make it. I'm trying to improve my writing and everything, and sort of trying to like kind of trying to focus Juniper into something that makes a little bit more sense than it's made in the past, and I'm doing literally everything I can right now, and it doesn't do a whole lot of good, I guess, to obsess or get frustrated or be sad about like how things should be instead if they are the best they can be right now, if that makes any sense.
It makes
And I'm
sense.
rambling. Somebody else talk.
oh yeah.
It makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, it definitely makes sense.
I'm right there in the same boat with you, except that I'm not as young, and I do constantly get the feeling of like, oh shit, I wasted how many years of my life, you know, trying this or trying that and failing at this, and I wasted too much of my youth watching television and not doing anything, and I get down on myself because of that, but
Mhm.
then I have to like kick myself in the ass and say, just ink your fucking comic, just just put the pen to the paper and ink it and put it out and then do the next one
Yep.
and be happy that you're able to do it. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's so many people that want to do certain things, and either by their own hand or by circumstances in their life are unable to do those things. It could be like a mental block or a kind of insecurity issue, or some things that are literally stopping them from doing those things. And maybe it's a good thing to take a minute and be grateful that you're even doing it at all. That you even get to do this thing that you love so much, and maybe it's not wildly successful yet, or maybe this whole project, your whole first project, might not be successful as you wanted it to be, or whatever, but at least you get to do it at all.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, speaking of non-successful projects that are still there, Brett Geiger.
Mhm.
Let's use him as an example. His first comic strip that
Greystone Inn.
he released, Greystone Inn, wasn't very popular. It really didn't go very far, and he finally figured out. He transitioned into Evil Inc., his next comic strip, and that one became wildly successful.
Yeah.
And so, it's just, he still learned his chops. He still learned the ropes and everything with his first one,
Mhm.
even though it wasn't as popular as he wanted to be. But you shouldn't worry about that part. You need to make
So hard not
before
to.
you do anything. Yeah, I know, you want to. But I've been learning the hard way not to compare myself to anybody else. Nobody else is in my shoes. Nobody else is walking my specific way through life.
You don't have to apologize for your, whatever's going on in your life right now. Like that, you don't have to. No, you don't owe anyone an explanation really for any of that stuff. And it's so easy to fall into that like apologetic hole where you're like, oh, I would, but I can't, and it's just so hard to be like, well, this is the best I can do right now. Sorry, like don't see. I'm even doing it now. I'm trying to apologize for myself even now. So that's, I think that activities like comics and things often attract similar personalities of like mine, where we're sort of type B, kind of anxious, kind of self-deprecating and things like that. And these are just things that we have to all realize about ourselves, if that's you, and kind of try to work on so that you don't make yourself totally miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
I know. Fun.
Yes.
It doesn't help when you have people that are reading your comic, and I mean, it helps when they say, "I want more."
Yes.
I want you to make more. I'm looking forward to it every week. Why don't you post more often? And it feels kind of bad when I feel kind of bad when people say you should you should make more of them because I want to read them. It's like, well, I'm glad that you're reading them, but this is as fast as I can go, and you're getting them for free.
Yeah,
so
stop complaining. You're getting them for
shut
free.
Up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Please don't make me feel like a pile of shit because you're getting my stuff for free.
Yeah.
No, that's when you need to turn around, point them to your Patreon page.
Patreon page, yeah.
You know what? You want me to make more? You put more in the kitty.
Yep.
But then they're
turn
like,
it around.
I don't have any money. Well, then you're not going to get any more comics. Sorry, it just works that way.
Yeah. Well, and especially if you have to go back to day job town, like it's going to be even harder to.
Oh yeah.
Day jobs.
I know. Day jobs do suck, but it pays the bills. I've been hanging on to mine, but I'm very lucky where I'm at. I've got the support of my family. They're helping me out, so I don't necessarily have to keep a full-time day job, but I do because, student loans.
Yep.
No more student loans for me. Woohoo!
Hey, shut up.
Hey, I paid off in like 10 years, so I paid my dues.
Yeah, well.
I'm only a couple years
in
them. I did manage because I had 2 minor ones and 1 major one. I got rid of 1 minor one.
Hooray.
I'm almost done with the 2nd minor one, and I've been starting to pay into the major one.
Yeah, I've got kind of a baby loan, so I guess I don't even really have to complain too much. My parents paid for my first 2 years of college, so that wasn't so bad. And I never went for masters because meh. Anyway, steering this maybe back toward
the long game.
Our original topic. Yeah, like I think it's really important to know. It's easy to look at somebody's stuff and think that they've been doing this quality or this successful of a thing their whole lives, or they just like decided one day that maybe they'd paint a painting and it was Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper and man, famous now. Like, definitely. Like, I think if you're like just in a humanities class or something and you're looking at classic paintings, you're like, damn it, these people are so amazing, and like surely they were born that way. And it's like, well, they're born with the raw materials, but you know, it's like I didn't know before sitting down today that Leonardo da Vinci didn't get like, you know, didn't hit his first masterpiece until he was 46. Like that's important to know, you know what I mean? Like, and it's important to realize, you know, with things like webcomics that, you know, some of our idols and stuff didn't hit until they were in their mid-30s or beyond, you know.
Later.
I think Brad Geiger's only, he's only not had a day job for like 3 years or something. So, I mean, it's important to keep those things in mind and not just look at the fluffy, you know, successful version of whatever's happening, you know, on the outside of their personal life, I guess. You know, it's important to know.
Well,
you
see, most
make
of
a
the
realistic
time when
idea
we...
for yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, when we come across most of our idols, it's at the time when they've actually become known. And that's usually after they've already hit kind of an accomplishment level that they, you know, have gotten a certain amount of celebrity or whatever you want to call it. Internet celebrity. Yay. But, you know, we're catching up with them later rather than earlier, you know. Most of the time, you don't know Joe Schmo and his amazing race car that he's building in his garage. You only hear about it until after he's raced the damn car.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's important to remember, I think, for people. And just because discouragement is so easy, it's such an easy trap to fall into, you know, and maybe watching these videos will help one of you, you know, any of our listeners that, you know, are having similar issues. Maybe it'll help you kind of put things into perspective and realize that you're not a failure just because you haven't hit it off yet, even if it feels like a failure sometimes. Yay.
You know, I think we all feel that at some point. And it's more of a reminder point, you know. Indulge for like 5 seconds and then try to pull yourself back out again. Go realize, you know what? No, that's not going to help me get anywhere.
Yep, just have your panic attack.
Yep.
Feel sad for a minute, and then just make your next comic.
Yep. Well, sometimes you have to. Sometimes that gives you enough fuel for your fire.
Yep. So
go panic in the corner. And
okay to have a meltdown. Just don't have it so badly that you don't return to what you were doing before.
Yeah, trying to...
corners now instead of panic rooms?
Yes, just huddle in a corner in fetal position. And hiss at everyone who comes close.
Right.
Make sure you bring your notepad and pen to write down all your ideas while you're in the panic corner.
Or your shortcomings. Hey, whatever.
I'm a terrible person. I hiss at everybody. Oh my God.
I'm a bad person and a terrible wife, and I don't do the dish enough. And
you don't like my muffins. What the hell?
I don't play with my cat enough, and and I'm behind on Game of Thrones. Yeah, and I think also it's kind of important for other artists to talk to each other about this kind of stuff, because if you are sort of in a little bubble of your own creations and you don't take the time to be social with other people, like maybe you don't even realize that this is like all these weird like crappy feelings you're having are really common, and everyone's, you know, kind of in the same boat. Like there's, you know, as maybe depressing as that seems, like there's some good stuff to be had in commiseration, you know what I mean, and having some kind of support system. You know, and so if you're creating all by yourself and you don't have anyone to talk to about that stuff, start reaching out and joining forums and stuff, because I think it's important not to suffer like that by yourself, you know. Like if you are suffering, like don't do that by yourself, you know. At least suffer along with other people. So, because I think it's important to know that this sort of thing exists and to have dialogues about it and things like that, so. I don't know.
Well, to give you a basic measurement, to go by to help yourself create. There's a saying, I've seen it said in a couple different ways by a couple different people, but the basic way I prefer seeing the saying is done is better than perfect.
Yes, that's true.
So just get something done. I know it's not going to be perfect, especially if it's your first time making whatever it is, you know, however it is.
Yep.
It's your first paragraph, it's whatever. You know what? After you've written 2 chapters, you can look back again and go, oh, hey, I see that spelling mistake, or I see a run-on sentence, or you know.
Yeah, or maybe this panel could have been composed a little better, or, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
my word balloons for the first 5 comics were the worst ever, but now they're getting better. You know, like even. Yeah.
And
so
don't change them.
Yeah, don't go back and just leave it alone. Move on.
I can change. They're my comics. I can change what I want.
Robert, make more comics. Don't change old ones.
No, I'm changing some of them a little bit because I'm actually going back and coloring them.
Okay, that's different.
So if I find something that needs to be like absolutely fixed, then I'll do it.
Yep.
You know.
That's different though. Like I'm talking about scrapping giant chunks of your archive. Oh,
yeah, no, I'm
doing them over again.
Totally leaving them all up, but I'm going back and coloring them and
no, the colored ones look good.
Sorry?
I said the colored ones look good. Like I like your plain inks also, but the colored ones look good.
Thanks. I'm looking forward to seeing them put together in a book. That's
that'll be great.
Hopefully it'll be done by Emerald City.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. Actually, not to change the subject or anything, but I made a rash decision when an opportunity came upon me, and I'm going to San Diego Comic-Con.
Whoa! You'll have to tell me if you feel like you're drowning in a sea of crazy when you get there.
I've never been. I've heard horror. Like the only thing I've heard are horror stories.
Yeah, I've only heard like I'm never going to San Diego Comic Con again. It's just like the biggest shit show.
That's all I've.
That's like the original Comic Con, wasn't it? Like that's the big original one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the main one. All I've ever heard is horror stories, especially about the Teamsters.
Well,
and all the extra fees you have to pay and shit like that.
I will. Well, the booth that the half of a booth that I'm going to be renting was already paid for, and all the stuff was there. So they just need one of their partners backed out. Well, they didn't back out. They got approved for their own booth. So they already had a booth. They just needed somebody to take care of the other half, and they asked me. And initially, like a month or 2 ago, and I'm like, I totally can't afford it. I've never been broke. And then, I saw another post, like, what was it, on Tuesday, and they're like, we still haven't found anybody. We're looking for somebody. It's a month away. We need somebody. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. So I bought a plane ticket, applied for the California state, temporary tax license thing, whatever. And I'm like,
it's a permit.
Now, sorry?
It's a permit.
A permit, yeah. And so now I was just like, oh shit, what did I get myself into? I got, how am I going to get all my stuff down there? Oh shit, where am I going to stay? And
oh shit, where am I gonna sleep? On a bench on the street? Exactly. What am I gonna do?
So I gotta put the word out. I'm probably gonna ask on webcomics.com if anybody has any amount of floor space. I mean, I need a bathroom, a blanket, and a floor. That's it. I mean, I'm just gonna put that out there and see if there's anybody that can let me stay anywhere close to the convention. But I will definitely take notes. And I'll probably have a lot of stories to tell at the end of it, and
we should have
if it was worth it or not.
We should have a trade podcast exclusive with you about what the hell happened. If you're a husk of a man when you come back.
If I come back,
If you come back,
it'll swallow you.
So
San
yeah.
Diego swallowed up another one. No.
You'll walk inside the convention center and it'll be like a scene out of a Hieronymus Bosch painting. You'll go, oh no!
Anal flower arranging, yeah.
The worst. Just
Yeah.
the worst hell scene from Hieronymus Bosch. Please, somebody Google that if you don't know what I'm talking about. It is a treat.
Yeah, paintings are awesome.
Yes.
But yeah, I will take a lot of pictures. I will post while I'm there if the internet works on my phone. So yeah, that's happening.
I can tell you're panicking already.
A little bit.
That's okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ride the panic, Robert. Ride it all the way to San Diego.
Sorry, what?
I said ride the
Right.
panic all the way to
Yeah.
San Diego.
That panic train.
You'll be a frothing maniac by the time you get there, but
Yeah.
you should do a self-portrait of your feels when you get there and then send us a photo.
I will take some animated selfies.
Oh my God, the people know!
Excellent.
Yeah. Looking forward to
scary
it
and
and
amazing.
dreading it at the same time.
Definitely.
So,
But yeah, so this is part of your long game. You are farther along in yours than me or Carrie. Carrie is farther along in hers than I am.
Yes.
I'm starting the choo-choo train and it won't
I
go.
keep telling you,
Not by-
each podcast,
not by a whole
you
lot, though,
you need to post.
Thing.
You need to put that up there. You gotta just put that first one out and just start.
And
that'll
then
get you
here's
going. Don't
here's
hide
what
behind
you
your
do.
notepad. Every
I'm gonna
single time I
have-
talk to you, you gotta start.
Here's what you do.
Son of a
Post your
rocket.
first one. You post your first comic and then never think about it again. The only way you
did
can
it.
keep going. There are
Yeah.
several comics I've never thought about again. I'm like, nope, those don't exist for me anymore.
like the ambulance man's arm. That one still bugs me.
Haha, I'm never changing it. Never.
No, it don't work.
It doesn't work.
Hands would be down.
Yeah. So anyways, just put it up there.
Never
Never look back.
Get
Never
red.
look back. Unless you decide later that you want to color it, and then look back a lot.
Then you go, oh my God.
Yep. And you think, oh my God, this drawing was terrible, but look at the way how far I've gotten. You know, I've been
Yep.
doing that the whole time. It's like, oh my God, I saw I drew it. Oh, I posted that. Oh, I can't believe people read that. Oh,
What have I
guess it's
done?
okay.
Oh my God. All right.
When is okay? You gotta figure it out right now. You gotta set up a launch date. When is
Yep.
it?
Hard launch date.
Okay.
Yep.
Hard.
We're gonna
You want
keep
me to
doing it.
Although the last time I think I was on one of these, I said I would set up a Patreon account by the second time I was on one of these things, and I haven't yet.
What?
I know, I'm sorry.
You gotta do that.
I
You gotta get
know.
on it. They just
It's
got
again
funding.
like that whole I don't know if I have time to do extras right now. And so
Don't
I know
put
it's
extras up.
huh?
Don't put extras up. Just
Aren't you supposed
ask
to?
for-
Like, won't people hate you if you don't?
No, put like donate $1 or $5, you know,
And just keep it
start
small.
there. Just start small, and if you know every single dollar is one more dollar in your pocket, you know.
Okay,
Say-
so I don't really need to set up reward tiers yet, or
Yet. No, not yet.
Okay, well that makes me feel better. I was thinking of things like, oh, I'll just record myself drawing, or I'll just make screen caps of work in progress things, which are not bad either. But then thinking of doing all of that, I'm just all of the extra stuff. I'm just kind of
Yeah, just
screen caps. Screen caps are pretty easy to do.
Most of the webcomics that I've seen that have Patreon accounts, there's ask for $1 a month, and you'll get the comic a day before it's posted. That's it.
Is there a way to post it on your Patreon thing that allows you to do that, or do you send it via mailing list?
You post. There's a little plus button for add a post. You just add your comic to it, and you can set who it is shown to, or who's allowed to see it. You could put public, or private, or only the dollar donators, or only the $5 donators, or pledgers.
People who give me money.
The tough part too about doing something like that is that I would have to change. Me and Sarah would have to change our whole workflow to try to get the comic done a day early to even give them the comic a day early, because we finish on Sunday and post on Monday.
Right.
Well, maybe we
can have
maybe
one,
change it
a
up
tricky
to
one.
Tuesday.
Everyone who pays $1 gets the comic a day late.
You know what? That could be a total gimmick.
You
Just
lucky so-and-sos.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll
There you go.
For $1. The reward for $1 could be you have access to the creator stream. You can post your pictures of progress, or what I do is I post the sketches of the comic. What I do is where are they? I draw the strip on printer paper like this, word balloons and everything, and then I transfer it over to the actual nice inking paper, and I do
like Lightbox or something.
I have these two different. I'm sorry.
Oh, like by Lightbox or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have these two different things, and what I do when, on Thursdays or Fridays, when I have the sketch done for the following Monday, I scan this in, and I erase all the word balloons, so you can't really read what the strip says, and I post that up for my $5 pledgers. So they basically get the comic strip a few days before it's posted, but without the word balloons.
I could actually do that because, usually I get the sketch done for Sarah, a few days before she's able to sit and ink it. So, and it doesn't have any word balloons yet because she takes care of that too. So,
yeah, that's a reward. People, I assume people love seeing sketches.
I love seeing sketches.
So
I do.
When we were in Disneyland, we saw books, sketchbooks of Disney artists, and I got all happy and fuzzy inside.
Do you actually do it on paper, or do you do digital?
It's all digital.
Okay. Because what I do with my paper sketches is then I turn around and cut them out, one panel piece, and I send those to people who give me $25 a month.
Oh, that's really cool. Oh, because you send them physically a thing. Oh, Melony got one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute. I like the black envelope. That's cute.
Yes. I actually got it framed up on my wall because it's cute and adorable.
Cool.
I could easily do a traditional sketch though and send it to people though. I think I could do that at work probably. Don't listen to that. I mean, what? No one does anything like that at work. Lunch break.
Yeah, well, that's why I went and bought a bunch of these really cheap sketchbooks.
Mm-hmm.
They're really small. They're about 5.5 by 8.5 size, so about hand size, a little bit bigger. And that way you can get as much sketching as you can during the day, even during breaks, lunches, whatever,
Mhm. I am paranoid about drawing where people can see me though. I feel like I feel like it's attention baiting. Oh, what did you draw? And it's funny you should ask.
I was going to say that you shouldn't worry about that if you have headphones in, but then again, I'm not a girl, so I mean, people treat guys and girls completely different. I mean, I sit at coffee shops with my headphones in, and nobody bothers me at all. But then again, people have also told me that I'm intimidating, so I'm like, whatever.
It's those goddamn dreads. I'm kidding. Your dreads are awesome. Don't cut them off ever.
Yeah, ever. I mean, trim them, yes, but cut them off, no.
I feel like I have all the intimidation of a stuffed animal. I'm really not. There's nothing to be worried about. And I'll totally talk to you if you interrupt me during drawing, and that's probably my own fault. But anyways, I'll try to think of something. I'll probably try to think of something for Patreon that's really ratcheted down and more manageable for me right now while I'm doing other things.
Well, I think screen caps would be a good idea for you. They're pretty, easy to do since your work is all digital. And you could do a screen cap and then take it back into Photoshop and maybe blur out any section that, for whatever reason.
Or whatever.
Yeah, if there's something specific there that you just can't show yet. You know, give it a little blur, and that way people are like, oh, there's it's hidden. Oh no, you know,
Yeah.
kind of mystery.
Just a giant question mark in panel 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
See,
think
there's
of something.
one gal I give patronage to on Patreon there. She's really prolific, but she has made comics for a living. I don't think she has a day job anymore. But, you know, I mean, you're not to that level yet. But what she does is she posts her sketches. Another one is solely an illustrator. And I just give her $1 a month, but I at least get to see her stream, and just she posts at least like a daily sketch,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one of the reasons why I tout so much the notebook. Go ahead and just keep one with you. I've got just plain old cheap ass Bic pen.
I like those big pens. They give you a surprise blob of ink sometimes. That's really annoying, but.
But this is just a sketch. This is not your final work at all, you know,
Yeah.
so just, it gets you flowing, it gets you more prolific. And yes, I used a big word.
Well, yeah.
So Melony, when's your launch date? We thought.
When's what?
Gotta wait. No. Now I let you down.
Okay, well, okay, all right. Right now,
when's the launch
it is.
date?
Yes. Right now we're recording the 28th of June. This is so. Let's see. When would you like to see me launch, guys?
That
Give me an idea.
Does not. Well.
You know, I've got some made. I've at least got.
Is your website ready to go? Are you ready to literally just plop something in and go with your websites?
The website is just about done. The only thing I haven't finished is the banner. I keep changing the banner.
Okay, so the banner has to be done by the end of the weekend.
Okay, I can do that.
So
banner's got to be done by the end of the weekend. And if you say you have a little bit of a buffer.
Mhm.
Okay.
Very tiny.
How many are done for each comic?
Completely done? I only have 2 completely done. I've got 4 I've gotten drawn but not inked.
Okay, that's actually way further than me and Sarah were when we started. So you're, in my opinion, you're good to go.
Yeah, if you're only doing them once a week, and you can,
that's really manageable.
Once a week.
Considering that you've got some of them sketched out, like that's a lot of work already done for those. So I would you're probably good to post by, let's see.
What day are you gonna post them on?
Yeah, that's a good question too.
I want to just go ahead and do a Monday schedule. You know, just
for both
once
of them?
a week to start.
You're gonna
post
on Monday?
Both of them. I want to do one on Monday, one on Tuesday.
Okay. In my opinion, Monday the 14th and Tuesday the 15th.
Okay. So, roughly speaking, about 3 weeks out.
Yep. Or 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, about 3 weeks out.
Well, 2 weeks really. Like I would call it 2 weeks so you have a sense of urgency in your head.
Yeah.
Just decide on a banner. If you hate it in a few months, change it then, but just don't let that stop you from posting, because that's easy.
Yeah.
And then just tinker with your website as you go.
Yeah, your website's not gonna be up to where you want it at any point. You know, you'll just have to keep. That's one of those things that you just have to keep tinkering with and get it to the point, you know, where it's passable and it gets your comic, seen. Yeah,
you just need something for people to go see. Like that's all you need. My website does not as one page, and I do intend on fixing that, but it is something that people can come and see. So it doesn't even have to be advanced or amazing or flash.
So how do you feel about that? How is the 14th for you?
I'll give it a shot. I'm just gonna say okay. There's a day.
Launch date 14th and 15th. Get all of your shit done by probably by Sunday, so that you have a little bit of wiggle room. But that in no way means that you can go back and change Tuesday's comic in its entirety.
Yeah.
Cool.
Basically.
Okay, and the internet has heard it.
Yep. Now
So-
everyone knows. Pressure's on. Hey guys, Melony's first 2 comics are going to get posted on the 14th and 15th of July. Don't forget to come and check peanutstrange.tumblr.com
Yeah.
and ornamental.com.
Yes.
Ha! I did it. I plugged your comics that aren't up yet. But they're
Now
good.
I don't exist quite yet, but it will.
we have to check in with her before then, just to make sure she's on track and getting ready to post.
And not having a meltdown in the corner.
Mm-hmm. In fact,
this is why my Twitter name is Hiding Blanket Forts.
You can listen. You can post your comics from inside a blanket fort. That's okay.
you can. The comics that you already have done, are they on your website? Like, do you have them
No,
up?
I've been tweaking them, kind of messing with the size of them, kind of looking at some of the other, other people who have them posted, kind of seeing what size they have
900
theirs.
pixels this way, 400 pixels this way. That's what I do for my.
Yeah, because everybody does a slightly different, setup. I don't like a lot of them have too much white space or too much,
like you're trying to figure out gutter size.
Yeah, so overall I wanted to kind of expand it out a bit more. It's just, again, it's my personal aesthetics. I've got a degree in web design, so having too much negative space there bugs the shit out of me.
Yeah, and that's something we didn't think about because our gutters are all over the place for like a year. So.
Are you going with a strip, or are you going to go with a square?
One's a strip, one's a page.
Hooray!
Okay.
So yeah, that's part of the reason why I've been kind of tweaking things constantly and looking at some others, just the way they have their setup. Namesake, for instance, if anybody's into a whole lot of webcomics, I read far, far too fucking much. Namesake, they do full page fantasy story, and that's pretty much how I'm kind of posting mine after my big one, Steam and Nonsense. Will be kind of after theirs, just to have a model to go on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was actually looking at Girls with Slingshots as the model for the strip.
Yeah, it's not a bad way to go. She
No.
can fit a surprising amount of panels across. Like, I've seen her do like 6 or 7, and I'm just like, I can barely do 5 and fit everything in, so she's got skills.
Yeah.
Definitely, but look how long she's also been doing it. Remember the long game?
Yep,
Exactly.
long game, everybody.
She's what, on her 7th or 8th book?
Maybe more than that?
Yeah, somewhere along there. She's been doing it quite a while now, and so that's why I compare just the site itself, not my work. I know better.
Yeah.
But just the site itself to what I want to accomplish, at least the site to look like, not color-wise or anything, just the general setup.
Yep. Well, all of that luckily can be changed while you're posting and stuff, so it's not like all of that has to be completely done by the time you launch. Just so you know.
Yeah, I know, but I prefer having the basic building blocks in place.
Yeah.
Before I do that big initial push out.
I think you have plenty of time before the 14th to get all that stuff done.
Yeah, she does.
Yes.
Like once you
Goodbye, world.
Once you finish editing this video, once you finish editing this video and put it up on YouTube or whatever, then you do your banner.
You gotta start. Yep, start writing on your banner. Just pull the trigger, make a decision.
Yep.
Drink so much beer afterwards. Drink to forget.
I got my Jägermeister. We're good to go.
All right, well, do your banner and then take your medicine. So. Anyway. Post your comments.
All right, we're good.
That should be good.
All right, well, maybe we should wrap it up. But yeah, Melony's starting her comic on the 14th,
Definitely.
15th of next month. It's gonna be awesome.
We're looking forward to it.
Yep. And then once you do it, you can wallow in self-hatred inside of a blanket fort, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
Yes. I will
It'll
go
be
hide inside my air-conditioned Laken fort for the summer. Going, don't look at me now. Remember, I'm just doing the long game. No.
It'll be fine. And I'll do something about Patreon one of these days.
Yeah. When are you gonna launch the Patreon?
Okay, I'm taking my own medicine. I don't know. Hopefully by August. How about
Okay, your turn.
Not.
Okay, August 1st?
that? All right, August 1st.
August 1st.
August
Launch your
1st.
Patreon.
August 1st.
I mean, have you set up an account already?
No, I'm doing it from scratch.
You got to set up an account by the end of the weekend.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, I've got my
To be honest,
banner.
there's a lot of
I
stuff
my
we're not
banner.
talking about.
Squirrel.
All right.
So
Not too
it's
bad.
banner time for me, and it's Patreon time for you.
Yes. We're all taking ourselves seriously and not feeling like we don't deserve any money because of how not very many hits we get. Anyways, that's my
No.
that's
You'd
my
be
sad thing.
surprised.
I know, it's awful.
You'd be surprised at who will give you money.
That'll be
Hey, remember,
money.
remember, Scott Kurtz reads your comic,
He
Carrie.
does. Until he cited an example, and I was like, oh, okay.
That's
And so
awesome.
she was like, oh, wait. And I think next time we go to Emerald City Comic Con, I'm going to bring a package of paper sacks for the both of us. So that way I can hand you.
Ventilating.
Yep.
Yeah. Hi. How are
Just
you?
having a
You
very
know,
small panic attack. Don't worry.
You could totally market that to like people at the con for, meeting their
Kind of bags.
have a paper bag so that when you meet your idol, you don't totally pass out. Excellent.
That's awesome. I would set a goal by the end of the weekend, but I actually already have one. I have to finish inking this comic strip by Monday, and I have to draw the other one by Sunday so that I can color it on Monday and post it on Tuesday. And I'm also getting ready for San Diego. I gotta do a bunch of stuff for that. I've got a flyer to make and have printed. I also have I want to get a little book together, like an Ashcan thing to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Gonna write your will where you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, last will and testament. Yes.
So yeah,
You're gonna leave your websites too,
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Poor Mao. Poor Mao.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I have to do. I have to have somebody watch him while I'm gone. I gotta set that up. And
Yep.
figure out where I'm staying.
Babysitting.
You gotta figure out where I'm
kitty sitting.
During San Diego.
All right.
So, yeah,
but.
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
All right. August Patreon. Gonna do it.
Gonna do it.
Good.
I've got 3 weeks out, and I will be launching. Oh my God!
Dreams are coming true every day. Dreams and worst nightmares are coming true every day.
I hyperventilate.
All right. Well, I will see you guys in a month, and I will have some.
So, what's the name of your comic and what's the address again for everybody?
Oh, I'm Carrie Potter from JuniperComic.com.
I'm Robert Trithart from writhenshine.com and chanceofdoom.com.
Melony's hyperventilating, but she's Melony Chitwood from steamandnonsense.tumblr.com.
And ornamentalcomic.com. I will post on Tumblr the official links when I have it all launched and set up for everybody to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep checking back with my Tumblr until then.
Excellent. Good to talk to you guys.
I can do this.
You can do it. It's gonna be great.
Bye, everyone.
What am I doing?
People cry and I laugh. What's wrong with me?
I I'm
Okay.
gonna cry now.
So the first thing you're gonna do is hit the end broadcast button.
Yeah, so that everybody.
Yes. So
All
goodbye,
right.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you. Bye.